There are two types of goal setting strategies: goal acquisition strategies, desire creation strategies. There's a very common one that everybody uses, and this one almost always fails. Then there's another one that not a lot of people know about, and this one is almost always successful. This is what they call a well-formed goal. This is what all the goal courses and goal books and goal gurus teach. You come up with some objective that you want to achieve. It has to be time limited, meaning you have to know exactly when this is going to happen. It has to be as specific and as detailed as possible. You can't leave anything up to chance. It has to be something that makes you excited when you think about it. It has to be something that is absolutely under your own control, under the power of your own agency. But these goals almost always fail. Now, what about this goal? This is a different kind of goal. This is a directional goal. It doesn't require you be specific. It doesn't require you have any idea when your objective is going to happen, because your objective is vague. All you need to know is that you're going in the direction of better and better part of your life. For example, this health goal says, I want to lose a certain amount of weight by a certain amount of time. I want to fit into a certain kind of clothing, and that's my goal. And you make it time specific. You make it under your own power. You make it something that makes you feel good. But this is just, in 6 months, I want to be healthier than today. This is much more likely to succeed, because this one, your goal is always moving into the future. Your better future is always moving into the future. This more replicates, this is more congruent with how our mind-body systems evolved back in a hunter-gatherer environment. We were always chasing something that was always far out in the future. We didn't have specific goals. Now, why is this goal-setting strategy so likely to fail? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Whenever you set a goal, you have costs and you have benefits. We don't do anything. Everything we do, even if it's unconscious, has both costs and benefits. But when you're choosing a specific consciously chosen goal, you have to consider the costs and the benefits. But when you start this goal setting process, the well-formed goal setting process, the costs and the benefits exist in the abstract. And we almost always underestimate the costs, and we always overestimate the benefits. We think in terms of these fantastic benefits: when I get that job, when I get that girlfriend, when I lose that weight, when I have that amount of money in the bank, that's going to be wonderful. And we just figure we'll just figure out how to get there when we figure it out on the way there. And we don't really take a lot of time thinking about the costs as we get there. So what happens as we start to move forward through time? The costs become real every single day. The costs start to pile up. They become real and immediate and tangible. But for a lot of goals, the goal achievement date is still out in the future, so the benefits are still kind of abstract. So the more you move closer in time towards this alleged date where your goal will be achieved, the costs are becoming more and more real, and the benefits are still kind of abstract. And so there will come a time where the costs become greater than the benefits as you represent them in your mind. Everybody will give somebody $5 so long as they get back $6 in return. That's perfect. Everybody will do that all day long. But as soon as you give $5 and get back $4, you stop doing that, because that's stupid. That's irrational. So in your mind, whenever you get to the point where the cost of achieving your goal are greater than the benefits as you perceive them subjectively in your mind, it's irrational to keep going. That's one reason why many well-formed goals never really pan out. Another reason is because we can never predict the future. There's always other people involved. Unless your goal is something health related where you are the only one involved, everything else requires other people to do stuff. If you have a financial goal, you need to operate in the financial markets that are made up of a cajillion other people. If you have some kind of career goal, you require doing things where other people recognize your talents. If you have some kind of relationship goal or social skills goal, you need to involve yourself with other people, and you can never truly predict how other people will behave. Certainly from the world of insurance, they have the law of large numbers, where the more people you interact with, the more you can kind of predict the behavior in the macro level, but that still is open up to a whole lot of unexpected outcomes. You've heard the expression that if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Or maybe Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan and then you get punched in the mouth. So if you have this goal that's 6 months out and it in any way involves other people, you're leaving yourself open to a lot of potential unexpected outcomes. For example, a lot of successful business people, surveys have shown that on their way to being a successful business person, they have 2 or 3 business failures on the way. Now, suppose your goal is to become a successful entrepreneur. And how you going to manage that with the idea that most people fail a few times on their way to success? Do you plan the failure? Do you just expect failure to happen? How do you even work that into your well-formed goals? So these goals kind of miss a lot of stuff, but they're very popular because they make us feel like I'm creating something wonderful. On the other hand, if you use a horizon goal, a directional goal, all you're doing is every day moving closer to something that's always getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Your horizon goal is a year out. Every day forward, you move forward a day. The horizon goal itself moves forward a day. So you're chasing this bigger and bigger and bigger thing. And every day you take action, every day you do something that gets you much more closer to your goal, that gives you information about how the world works, that gives you information about how your skills work, that you're increasing your skills, you will strengthen your sense of agency and you will get more data. So this goal setting process allows you to recalibrate your goal. For example, you might start off thinking you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to own your own business. And so you go off and you do things for a couple of months, but you get data, you meet with people, you find out how it really works, and you start to think to yourself, you know what, maybe I don't want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe I want to be a consultant. That way I can slide into a business, share my expertise, get a fat payday, take a couple of months off, and I don't have to worry about the headache of employees and raw materials and sales and taxes and all that stuff. Maybe it's a better idea to become a consultant rather than an entrepreneur. That's just an example of how you can recalibrate your goal. But if you're recalibrating your goal on this side, it kind of feels like you're giving up, and it's hard to tell inside your head whether you're changing the goal because it's easier or you're changing the goal because that's what you really want. But if you have a horizon goal, if you're continuously moving forward toward a bigger and bigger goal in the future, you will continuously benefit yourself. You will continuously strengthen your agency. You will continuously learn new skills. You will continuously walk day by day into a brighter and brighter future. And this is the path of life. All you really need is a big ambition and all the different desire categories: health, success, financial success, career, relationships, social skills, and just keep doing something every day in the direction of these skills. You'll keep building your agency. You'll keep getting closer to a better and better life, and life will always continue to improve.